Welcome back, everyone, to episode 69 of A Shot of Business Central and a Beer, the podcast where we tackle the world of Business Central one pint at a time. I'm your host, Michael Intravertolo, and joining me, as always, is my partner in Business Central banter, Ken Sebahar. Ken, it's episode 69. Do you feel like we're officially grown-ups in the podcast world now, or are we still the goofy teenagers of ERP talk?
Oh, we're definitely still the goofy teenagers, Michael. But hey, if people have continued to stick with us for over 5 years and 69 episodes, that probably says more about them than it does about us.
True. Today, we've got a jam-packed show for you. We'll dive into the latest Business Central news, chat with an awesome Microsoft ISV partner, Equisys, about their innovative Business Central solutions, discuss Satya Nadella's latest take on AI, and because we're all about balance, we're going to wash it all down with Samuel Smith's Oatmeal Stout.
And let me tell you, Michael, this beer is the perfect combination of sophistication and comfort. Kind of like Business Central, but, without the bubbles.
Exactly. Plus, what better beer to discuss efficiency and innovation than one with oats in the name? Oatmeal Stout, Business Central. It's all about smooth processes and reliable outcomes. Am I right?
You are absolutely right. But before we crack open the stout and dive into the BC buzz, let's just take a moment to thank our listeners for hanging with us for 69 episodes. Whether you're here for the beer, the business, or just Michael's bad jokes, we are grateful for you.
Yes, we are absolutely grateful for you. I'm also grateful for my bad jokes. All right, let's get to it. Grab your pint, settle in, and let's kick off episode 69 of A Shot of Business Central and a Beer. Cheers.
Cheers. Hey everybody, welcome to A Shot of Business Central and a Beer. Michael and I are here, and Michael, it looks like you brought in some Samuel Smith Old Brewery Oatmeal Stout.
I did. Shout out to Whole Foods where I actually got this. Was walking past it and was like, not bad. We don't do too many stouts. I don't think we've done anything with oatmeal. We've done some coffees and pastrami and some other crazy kind of things, but never oatmeal. It's cold out. So why not, to me, a heavier type of a beer in mid-January.
It is freezing ass out there. Snow, cold, wind,
wind chill.
It's we're getting our full fill of winter right now.
Slick roads, everything to that. Shout out to my niece who spun off the road today.
Oh, geez. She's okay.
Yeah, she's okay. Yeah. But yeah, so when I walked past this, the can and the box, the gold, I looked at it, I was like, all right, oatmeal stuff. I'm like, what are the chances this isn't the alcohol percentage wheelhouse of Ken? Like, no way, right? And I looked at it, and it is, 5%?
5%.
I could not believe it. I'm like, done deal. I got to get it. So
yeah, so let's dive into this. I'm wondering, it doesn't have like a lot of the stouts that we've had here have like the nitro in there, nitrogen to kind of give it the carbonation. I didn't see anything. It looks like this one doesn't have that.
We'll see. It's in a beautiful can though, like a yellowish gold can. That's pretty unique.
Pours a nice dark brown traditional stout.
I couldn't have poured that any worse.
Smells pretty good.
Oh, it smells great.
Ultimately, I can't help it. I know I will be comparing this to Guinness. It's unfortunately, some people might be like, oh man, that's terrible. But I can't help it. Like Guinness is go-to stout. Guinness is the bar, right? Like,
see, I'm not that big of a fan of the Guinness. I hope, we'll see. I hope this has a little bit more carbonation than Guinness. To me, Guinness would be a lot better if it had some carbonation, but
this has, similar flavor profile. I think it's a little bit more flavorful though.
It smells more
flavorful. It's got more, definitely more flavorful. Guinness is kind of a bland.
It is
beer. And this one is
it's got a lot more flavor, in my opinion, to Guinness. Also note, we're drinking them not ice cold out of the refrigerator. We let them sit for about, I don't know, 50 minutes, 55 minutes, like that.
Yeah.
Drop it down to the 55.
Yeah, so normal refrigerators probably at about 35, 40 degrees.
Yeah.
And
33.
and this says this beer is best served at about 55 degrees Fahrenheit or 13 degrees Celsius, which is, I mean, about as warm as you see any beers getting recommended for drinking. 55 is like the warmest by far.
Yeah, you think beer, you think cold. Tell you what, this beer's got a lot of head on it, though.
Yeah, and we've noticed, I think in the past, we have neglected to let the beer acclimatize towards the warmer temperatures. I think what we've seen is like when we first start drinking it, it tastes pretty, it tastes good. But then like as we keep drinking it, we pick up more and more flavor, right? As it warms up.
Completely changes.
So today we finally decided, all right, let's just let these sit out for about 45 minutes outside the fridge. And I think they are right at about that 55 degree
temperature. I think when you drink ice cold beer, the coldness kind of messes with your taste buds a little bit, where you don't get the full flavor.
Yeah, I think it masks the flavors.
Right, exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
You take that first sip through all that stuff.
Which is why I think when you go to, what is it, Twin Peaks, they put the sign out front says they're serving their beer at 29 or 30 degrees.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, or whatever the temperature is. It's like just at freezing, and I think that's like the the Coors Light in the Miller Lights of the world, right? Where the colder the better.
What was the old commercial with the train that would go through the cities and create all the snowstorms? Was that MGD maybe?
Coors, maybe MGD, Miller, but I think Coors. Yeah,
maybe Coors. Yeah, great commercials. Yeah.
Well, and they got the cans where Coors has the silver bullet, right? That's Coors, and the mountains on the front of the can will turn blue when it's cold.
So I can already tell you with this beer, to me, head and shoulders above Guinness. I would take this over at Guinness in a heartbeat.
Good.
It has to me a little bit more carbonation and a lot more flavor than Guinness. Guinness, you hit it right on the head. It's bland. It's just a bland beer.
It is, but it's smoother because of that nitrogen, 100% carbonation. 100%. It's like a velvety almost. This has more of a traditional beer carbonation kind of flavor in it. And it's brewed with well water at the original well at the old brewery, which was sunk in 1758. Still in use.
Wow. 85 feet underground, huh?
Yeah. So
let's see, inside for ingredients, we got water, malted barley, cane sugar, roasted malt, yeast, hops, oatmeal, and of course, good old carbon dioxide.
So I think it's that roasted malt that gives it the heavier flavor profile there.
I've tended to notice though, when you add things like oatmeal to things, like even oat milk, right? In my opinion, it's not good for you, but that's my opinion. But I love the taste of it. Like if you get oat milk and like coffee, to me that oatmeal flavor it goes so well with certain things. That's just me though, yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I thought this was interesting. There, it's a vegan beer. So for our vegan friends out there, suitable for vegans and vegetarians.
Yeah,
isn't it?
Registered with the Vegan Society, which I did not know was a thing.
Yeah, it's big time. It's big time. So this one I found interesting on Beer Advocate. Checked out some reviews for this, and it's just hysterical to me, the diversity of opinions on each beer, but in particular this one. I mean, just all over the board. From you got your typical it's all right, it's okay, to I don't understand why this beer is so highly regarded, barely any flavor, and has an unpleasant metallic finish.
They must have had a cold or been going through COVID or something. And it has a flavor. I mean, go drink Guinness. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We should point out that the ratings and stuff on Beer Advocate are pretty high, right? Average, their score is 93. Average beer rating is 4.2, which is really high. For beer.
And then the next person says, overall, this is a world-class masterpiece. Right?
We know that person likes to drink.
Like, good gravy.
Yeah. I mean, listen, first impressions, to me are pretty good. I like the smell.
I'm gonna see if I can pick up the oatmeal. Now they say that. I'm seeing a review here, and it says mixes perfectly with the oatmeal. Finishes a touch on the bitter side. Incredibly smooth and creamy.
That review's pretty spot on. It's a little bit of hint of oatmeal. Could use more, but it does finish with a little bit of touch of bitterness, but not like previous beers where the bitterness is so overpowering that you dread taking that next sip.
Multiple people put raisins.
Raisins?
2 different people had raisins. Can you pick up a raisin? Is that like the sweetness?
Maybe that's just because people eat the oatmeal raisin cookies and they associate raisins with oatmeal.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, so, again, you know what? If they point it out and you think about it, maybe there's a little bit of sweetness in there, right?
It's like a sweetness.
I don't know.
Someone else says plums.
I'd probably lean more towards raisin, but I think that it might be the cane sugar, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So today, let's talk about last month. Boy, if you missed it, we had our holiday special, a recurring theme with Jim Geo from Triangle Package Machinery, and Jim did not disappoint.
No, not at all. Shocked me with all the AI stuff they're doing.
Again, always great to have end users on the show with us to talk about their experiences with Business Central, their path from NAV on premise to Business Central Online, and what that looks like, and things that he's looking forward to, particularly with Copilot and AI.
Yeah, he's one of the unique people, and Triangle's one of the unique customers that have been through NAV, BC Online, and then BC full extensions, and now going to BC Cloud.
Yeah,
they've gone through the whole cycle.
Yeah, really well thought out, really well planned, done in stages to kind of step their way up, so it's not a huge undertaking.
Right.
So yeah, we had some Christmas sales from Schlafly. You gave it a 61. I gave it a 47. Which we know under 50, I'm not going to have a second one.
Jim rated it pretty low too. I think he did 41, something like that.
Yeah.
61 is close to not having another one. I mean, I could.
Yeah.
And I didn't hate it that much.
Yeah. I like this one. I like this one better than that. So this today we've got the team from Equisys joining us. Talk about document management, expense reporting, expense management, and how AI has changed the game in terms of AP automation and stuff like that. So that and then of course, and we'll have our AI snack time. We've got some salted cashews here to go along, which I think will pair nicely with the oatmeal stout.
It will. Let's not forget, we got a little bit of Business Central news too.
Some news, and then and then next month, still officially TBD, but it'll be February, late February. We are hoping that by then the 2025 Wave 1 release notes for Business Central will be out, where we'll be able to see the list of new features and functionality expected to be coming out in April.
Yeah, let's keep our fingers crossed that it comes out and that there's a bunch of new features, a bunch of new AI features. Speaking of AI, I highly recommend people stick around for this episode, because Satya Nadella recently said that the traditional SaaS method as we know it is basically dead because of AI. And we're going to be talking about that later on in the show. So
that guy really knows how to fire me up, Michael.
Yeah. Well, he's got the credentials to say it, so
I guess. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I would stay tuned. I might get a little fired up. All right, it is time for a shot of Business Central. So in this segment, we're talking about news, updates related to Business Central. Let me kick it off here. We're currently deploying for those who are running Business Central Online. Most likely should be running 25.1. Michael's going to talk about 25.2 in a minute, but before we get to him, I do want to spend a little bit of time talking about 25.1 because this is the update that includes access to the new Power BI reports that they're putting in place. And there's,
I think there's over 200 plus, right?
many Power BI reports. There's reports for finance, for manufacturing, projects, inventory, purchasing. I'm probably missing something here, but whatever. There's a whole set of reports for each different module. And so what you get with 25.1, assuming most people are now running that version, you should be able to go into the assisted setup wizard and run through the enabling the new Power BI reports. So it walks you through a couple steps, and you just fill in a few fields and confirm what you want to use for each of those modules: finance, manufacturing, and so on. And you get little lookups to make the selections pretty easy. And then when you're done, when you go to like the business manager role center page, for example, and you have the Power BI window on your role center, when you now go up to select a report, you will see all those reports are now enabled inside your Business Central environment. I did this in a test environment. Super easy, super straightforward to get running. Knock on wood. Hopefully it's that easy in all environments, but huge improvements, new reports like you haven't seen in Business Central before. I'm highly recommending people enable that and look at those reports, even just if nothing else, just for ideas on what you can do if you want to even build something custom. But out of the box, I think there's a lot of useful stuff there.
Yeah, Microsoft's been talking about it for a while. So they, like I said, they're claiming 200 plus new reports. Even though there's 200 plus, right, there's always room for more. So hopefully the next upcoming features, even more.
Keep them coming.
The more, the better. Yeah.
Keep them coming.
All right. Anything else for 25.1 recap real quick?
I'm good.
All right. So update 25.2 for Business Central. There's a couple feature changes just to mention real quick, and they are: the first one is do ad hoc analysis on fixed assets, project, and services. Next, you can do features e-file IRS 1099 forms without integration. It's going to be interesting.
Especially for year end. Good timing.
Absolutely. Here's one that I'm so shocked hasn't been out before, but this is migrate to the cloud from Dynamics SL. General availability. So, you got the migrate for GP and whatnot. Yeah. Now it looks like something for SL. So if you're thinking about making a switch, now's a good time. All right, 3 more. Excuse me. Next one is start using e-documents framework localized for Germany. We're in the US, we don't care too much. No. And then, this one's listed as you can now use the embedded Power BI reports out of the box.
Yep.
And lastly, use the e-documents framework in the Spanish version. So,
muy bien.
Gracias. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 notable feature changes. 1 or 2 that I'd say are highly recommended by a lot of people, highly likable. And now let's move into some of the things that are good to know. So, Sales Order Agent Early Access Program is available. It's Business Central's first AI agent that automates the sales request process. There's limited space available to sign up for this early access program. We'll include a link to it in the show notes. It's for the U.S. region only. So, and then there's a new installation path in update 25.2. Platform version changes to 25.2 instead of 25.0. The installation folder now uses 252 instead of 250. So nothing too crazy.
Yeah.
And in the future, same thing. Future updates like 25.3, 25.4 are also going to use the 252 folder. The Business Central launch event videos on YouTube. There's over 40 videos from the 2024 Release Wave 2 event that was held in October. Now on Business Central's official YouTube channel. And we got a couple, or actually we got more, but I've got a couple to share. Upcoming mandatory features that are going to be implemented in Business Central in update 26.0. So the first one that I've got here is extending GL entry aggregations when posting invoices. If you've never selected the option in your feature management's page, it's just going to be available now. It's mandatory.
Yep.
And then I've got the new extensible exchange rate adjustment. It's been available since update 23.0, but it's going to be mandatory in 26.0, and it replaces the legacy exchange rates adjustment report.
And one more is new sales pricing experience will also be mandatory, automatically enabled from version 26, which version 26, by the way, is the April 2025 release, or 2025 release wave 1, correct, as they call it. And this is, I think, a potentially significant issue for people, especially who may have customized the pricing, how sales pricing and discounting works, because under the new sales pricing experience, you have utilizes what are called sales price lists. So that gets auto-enabled in version 26. So I would encourage anyone who thinks you may have customized how pricing works. I mean, actually, anyone really should go in and look at this and test this out to make sure things are going to work right. But especially if you have modified in any way the sales pricing or discounting logic inside of Business Central, you should go into a sandbox, enable this to make sure that your functionality is going to continue to work as expected once those new sales price lists are enabled.
Take effect, yeah.
In a couple months.
All right. Good tips. Good to know.
Yep.
It's looking like that's all we've got. You got one more?
Yeah, just one more. Just finish it off with some conference talk.
Conferences, yeah.
Yeah, all right. Everyone loves conferences. Going out, doing some networking, some beer drinking, and good eating, hopefully. So the next one here, again, this is all particular to the U.S., is the Directions Partner Conference, Directions North America Partner Conference, which is being held in Las Vegas, April 7th to the 9th. So again, this partners only. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. After that, we've got Dynamics Con coming to Chicago, May 13th through the 16th. Hopefully some nice weather. Could still be chilly.
Could be.
So bring a sweater. And then further out is the Dynamic Community Summit Conference, which is scheduled for October 19th through the 23rd in Orlando. So both the Dynamics Con and Dynamic Community Summit conferences, really good for end users, a lot of good session content. If you're looking for some, gain some exposure to some apps that are out there, a lot of vendors attend these events. A lot of good content, deep dive content.
Nice to see that they're spaced out too. In years past, sometimes they've gotten close to each other.
Correct.
It's difficult for people.
Right. Yeah. Yep. So I don't know. I mean, it's hard. People may not be able to go to both, but I would suggest checking out one or the other, or it's over time both to kind of see which one might be more better for you. Mm-hmm. But either way, I think those user conferences are a great way to just get away from the office, your typical day-to-day, set aside a couple days to really focus on not only learn what's new and what's available for your organization, but also just to take a step back, take a deep breath, and think about what you're doing and what you could be doing better, right, or more of in Business Central. So I've always gotten a lot out of those conferences. Hope to be speaking at those this year. TBD. But look for those. So,
all right, that's all we got for the latest Business Central news. Up next, we're going to be getting into some deep dive discussion with Martin and Summer from Equisys, talking about some Zetadocs products and whatnot for Business Central.
Let's go.
All right, we are back with our featured guest segment, and today we are super honored to have Summer and Martin with us from Equisys. They're going to talk about all the cool things, revolving around Zetadocs and the AI infused things that they're doing with Zetadocs and stuff like that. So, welcome everybody. How's it going?
Thank you.
Thanks.
Good to be here.
Yeah, we're glad to have you. We've been working with Equisys and Zetadocs for a long time, but I'm sure that we have people tuning in today that maybe don't know who each of you are and what your roles are and what Equisys does for in the Business Central world. So, whoever wants to volunteer, why don't you kick us off? Tell us a little bit about yourself and Equisys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Summer, do you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. My name's Summer Sandusky. I am the US and Canada Zetadocs account manager. I actually started with Zetadocs Equisys back in August of 2024, so I'm still a little ripe. I was in the logistics industry before that, but yeah, I've been here, I guess, almost 6 months now. And thanks to Martin and the rest of our sales team, I've been getting up to speed pretty quick. So, yep, that's me.
Sure.
Welcome.
Great.
Yeah, my name is Martin Nekhaev, and I'm the account director over in the UK and the rest of the world, basically outside of the US and Canada. Doing very similar things to what Summer's doing. I've been at Equisys a little bit longer, so just over 6 years now. Been great working with partners all across the world, spreading the good news about Zetadocs and so on and so forth. And yeah, like you said, for those of you that don't know kind of about Zetadocs in the background, so I think we were founded back in about 1987, so quite a while ago. Started off with fax and the good old NAV days, the kind of first versions, but basically we provide solutions to work for paper, basically, so that you're replacing paper-based processes within businesses, as well as expense management and document management for Business Central and NAV. That's kind of the space that we're focused on at the moment. Business Central, obviously, moving forward with Microsoft and really focusing all of our efforts on that.
Yeah. And so a couple of the products you mentioned, like document management. So like document capture, right, is a tool, being able to store documents like vendor invoices and things like that.
Yeah, exactly.
And those are features that have been around. I remember way back when, I think it was called Matrix Document Management was the first like document management solution, ISV solution that we implemented 20 plus years ago. And obviously the technology in the world has evolved tremendously over that time. So what's new, when people think about document management now in terms of Business Central, what's new, some of the things that people can look forward to if they're not familiar?
Yeah, I mean, Summer, you want to go ahead on this one, or?
Sure, yeah. I mean, like I said, I'm still newer to Equisys, so I'm learning a lot myself. But from what I've seen, obviously, sorry guys, I'm floundering a little bit. Martin, I need you to take over.
That's all right. No, in terms of
jitters.
I am nervous.
Exactly.
You know what you need to be doing? You need to be drink more beer.
I may take a fireball shot really quick and just get that out of the way.
Go. Right.
Yeah.
In terms of our products and what's been new, it's obviously what we're going to talk about a lot today is AI, and it's really a buzzword, not just in Business Central, but kind of all around technology. Especially with our capture solution, being able to utilize AI in order to work on, reading supplier invoices, for example, capturing that data, that kind of thing, and basically taking more workload off of finance teams, making it easier for them and reducing their processes and, allowing them to focus in other places, basically.
Are you guys finding that AI is replacing like OCR technology at all, or are you trying to use it together with it?
Yeah, I wouldn't say replacing, but definitely working together. You're right. I mean, we've, again, to go back to kind of the capture solution, we've had OCR for a long time. I'd say, 10 to 15 years probably. But the OCR was very different that we've had in the past. Whereas these last few years, we've really kind of worked on harnessing that AI to improve the product and make it better for a better solution for customers and partners in general. But yeah, I really say that they're working together. It's not so much just scanning and picking up information. You're using that AI to then go further with that information.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think in the old school, I'll call it OCR, you had to get the vendor invoice, right? And then kind of like highlight, like tell it, okay, here's where you can find the vendor name. Here's where the date is. Here's the invoice number. And AI is really just able to figure it out. I mean,
yeah, exactly. So you hit the nail on the head with regards to the layouts. Yeah, there's that's quite typical in terms of a lot of solutions on the market that you'll highlight, like you said, where the maybe vendor name is or a PO number and so on and so forth. With AI solutions, kind of such as ourselves, the focus is more on you're not training the system to pick up that information. Obviously, these solutions work great, and I'm not saying that they don't work great because loads of companies still use them. But the real benefit in solutions like ourselves using that AI is that it's ready to go as soon as you install the extension within Business Central. You don't have to spend that time, money, effort to train the system where to pick up that information. So that's where the real difference is with AI, and that's kind of allowed us to push forward and work in this way.
Yeah, and what we're seeing is like, when customers would ask about this, let's say 5 to 10 years ago, we always kind of looked at it, we said like, well, how many vendors or suppliers do you guys work with, and how many invoices are you processing for each of those each month? Because you were really looking for like top heavy situations where it's like, yeah, 80% of our invoices are from these 4 or 5 vendors. And then it makes the OCR easy. We just have to map those 5 vendors. Exactly. But now it seems like with AI, it doesn't really matter. You could be, we get 3 invoices a month from 500 different vendors, right? With AI, it seems like you cut out all that upfront work. Right?
Yeah, exactly. And like you say, even if it is such a small percentage of your vendors that are, that you're getting these different invoices from, but it can still be a real kind of time consuming and a bit of a pain, to be honest, to set it up. And not only that, but you have to maintain it as well. So if there are any changes on the vendor, how the layout of the invoice or the positioning, then you have to go back in and make sure that your system is picking it up as well. So yeah, it's just taking the pressure off of that and allowing at the end of the day, finance teams, they want to be doing other things rather than kind of admin heavy tasks. So yeah, that's the beauty of it, really.
Yeah, and it saves people money too, because obviously with those templates, that's a lot more work on the front end with implementation costs and people's time, and saving them time and money.
Yep,
always a good thing.
Yeah,
I'm going to go out on a limb here, right? I'm an AI fan. I'm going to say within 5 years, as costs continue to drop with AI and these AI data centers are all being built, it'll replace OCR technology. Just my opinion.
Yeah, I mean,
I understand you're right. You don't have to have the names in certain spots like everybody was talking about. AI just goes through highly accurate, like 99% accurate of actually picking out the right information. So I'm going out on the limb.
Hey, I could see that, honestly, with the way things have been developing. Like,
exactly.
It's a pretty thick limb you're going out. You're not taking too much.
Yourself an olive branch.
Yeah, you're not taking too much risk there with that.
Oh, it's too funny.
With that prediction. Yeah. So what is, and maybe, I don't know if this is like proprietary information or whatever, but like, what is the AI engine? Like, are you guys, right? So you're in Business Central, right? And here's an invoice. It gets presented to AI. I'm doing air quotes. What is like the technology or the tool that you guys are using? Is it like your own proprietary thing, or?
So we actually use Microsoft's own Azure platform. So it's Microsoft's own Forms Recognizer, sorry, it escaped me for a moment. So yeah, Forms Recognizer, that's the one. So yeah, we use their platform to basically to read the information. So obviously, no private data or anything is getting stored, anywhere, but we're just using their technology to read it, pick up all the information, and then you'll still within Business Central. This is all happening within Business Central. To pick up the info and then process it as well.
Yeah, no, that's a great answer, I think, because right, we're talking about Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central here, and knowing that it's using Microsoft's Azure services, I think probably would give some people a peace of mind, right, about their data, and the security of their data.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, definitely. I think even for those that are not so technically minded, let's say, it's still when you hear Microsoft, you kind of we want to keep it all under the same umbrella. It just gives you security, safety, and that kind of a name that you can trust. And if you're using Business Central anyway, why not keep it in the family, right?
Right.
So you got a bunch of Business Central users listening and whatnot. If you had to so-called sell them on Zetadocs real fast, what would be like the two things that you would just let them know, like, this is why you need to have Zetadocs?
Sure. In terms of, if we're focusing again on the AI and everything like that, it's the rapid setup. I think we've kind of mentioned it already, but the time and cost saving is Summer kind of also alluded to, twofold, that you're really cutting down on both sides of things. So again, like I said, other solutions, they're great at what they do, and they do serve a great purpose. But if you're looking to move into something more AI based and AI focused, then that's a real benefit. Those two things, being able to save time and money. Outside of that, like I said, it's also kind of avoiding human error as much as possible. So obviously with the templates, you can obviously pick up information. You're not so reliant on human interaction as well. But especially with the AI solutions such as ourselves, it's minimizing that even further. So again, I keep going back to the finance teams. These are the people that are really caring and using it. So it's great for them, because rather than having to type in this information and someone has to double check it, it's all getting picked up for you, and all you have to do is give it a once over and it's good to go, basically. So it's I'd say those are the two kind of main points.
Yep. Nice. Yeah. And you guys, he mentioned, like, we have Business Central users listening. We also have a lot of Business Central partners that listen as well. And so just a little bit for them. I mean, you have a partner program. And what type of in terms of, think about like selling and implementing your solutions, what like you work together with a partner, you guys will provide demos and help with like some of the implementation stuff as well?
I can take this one, Marty.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
I can let me in there. We obviously work really closely with our partners, and we offer a nice little healthy margin on any deals that we close together. Everybody loves money. So, but I've given demos to our partners directly with the customers involved, or sometimes they just want us to handle that. But it really just depends on the partnership and how much involvement the partner wants to have. We do typically do all invoicing and everything through the partners. But when it comes to implementation, we have Britt is our project lead. She's awesome. She's literally my backbone. I will say that. I lean on her so heavily. So she writes the code and handles our implementations. But it is a collaboration with the partner. There's usually some level of involvement there as well. And I know that in the past, some of our partners that work with us a lot have wanted to be trained on how to implement our solution so that they can do it themselves. So that's also an option as well.
Do your products have to be sold specifically through a partner, or can anybody just buy it directly from Equisys?
Not necessarily. Yeah, we've done both. But yeah, if the customer has a partner, we typically we prefer to go through the partner, just because obviously we really appreciate those relationships, and you obviously don't want to step on any toes.
Yeah. If you don't have a partner, reach out to us.
Yeah, you mentioned Britt. I will. I've worked with Britt in the past and met at conferences and stuff, and yeah, she's awesome. I absolutely. Yeah. Long time working relationship there. Yeah.
All right. So let's see. Anything else anybody wants to cover about
Yeah, I mean, well, I'm kind of curious, right? I mean, if you think about it, right, you guys are kind of right, somewhat they feed the invoices in, and or in the case of expense reporting, right, receipts or whatever, right? So you're kind of hosting then that AI engine, right? So what is like the pricing model, and however specific or generic you want to keep it, but like, so like if we're implementing this, how does the pricing work? Like what am I gonna have to pay, like either monthly or annually, or how does that work?
For the US, obviously the US and the UK are different. We typically operate on like an annual subscription program, I guess is the word. It's probably not the right word, but annual subscription. We bill annually in advance. The AP automation is actually included, or it's available with our Capture Essentials or our Capture Plus. So there's no additional licensing cost there. There is a cost that comes directly from Microsoft for each page that gets scanned in. I believe it's like 15 cents per page, so it's pretty minimal, but there's no additional licensing costs, which is the major thing. So we typically just ask our customers, how many invoices do you get on average per month? And, we get an estimate that way. And same goes for expenses. It's annually in advance on a subscription basis. So I don't know if we're wanting to talk exact numbers here, but I can
just to kind of get a feel. So it kind of sounds like take a Business Central organization where they've got like 8 or 10 users and they're doing like 100 or 200 invoices a month. Their investment is going to be lower relative to a company that maybe has 50 or 100 users and is doing 10,000 invoices a month or something, right? Yeah, it's all based on volume and users.
I mean, there are also price breaks with the documents. So the higher you go, you're not stuck to kind of that pricing. At the higher end, there are also price breaks as well. So yeah, we don't want to punish people for processing lots of documents.
Is there apps listed on App Stores? I believe expenses are.
Both on there. Both I think got some healthy reviews, which is nice. Lots of happy customers. So both ready and available to go.
Trials are available on there too. We get those all the time. So if people just want to go on and test it out, that's an option as well.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, so we kind of we're talking about AP and vendor invoice automation, but you guys have an expense reporting solution as well. I'm guessing that's like kind of thing where I'm guessing like scan or take a picture of like a receipt or something and it kind of uses the AI to process it. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Am I close?
Yeah, you are. So we use OCR technology with our expenses site as well. So when you can do it on the web portal or a mobile app, but if you take a picture of your receipt and upload it, the system is gonna, extract information from the receipt to fill out, the different sections that you need to submit when you're submitting an expense report, which obviously saves time and removes some of that manual work for the person submitting the expense. So it definitely is a time saver. We use obviously our own expenses solution for our own expenses, and I've personally enjoyed it. It's definitely been user friendly. I will say that.
I definitely see that working when you have a few too many beers.
Exactly.
I've had that exactly so many times in directions, not the US directions because I've never been, but the UK one for sure. There, you're drinking with the partners, and then rather than stuff all your receipts just in your wallet, and they fall out or whatever happens at 3 a.m. Instead, you take a picture, hopefully not too blurry, and then you can forget about it till the next day.
Well, I can't speak for 3 a.m. time, but I can't speak for 5 a.m. time. Great.
Yeah, one thing to add with the expenses as well, in terms of, I know obviously going back to the subscription, is one thing we hear a lot from partners and customers that they really enjoy is the way it's licensed, because it's a little bit different to, I think, other solutions out there. We do it based on average monthly users. So basically what that allows customers to do, or whoever's using it, you can have 100 people in the organization, but 50 of those there, maybe, I don't know, they'll go on a business trip twice a year or something like that. They don't actually have to, purchase a license. It's only those that are regularly submitting. So we're talking weekly, monthly. They're the ones that we kind of count in that user count. And yeah, a lot of, like I said, partners and customers are very happy with that flexibility, just because, a lot of organizations, you'll have people that travel just once in a blue moon and that's it. And you don't want to, again, get stuck paying for something you're not really using. So yeah, that's important to keep in mind as well.
Yeah, and
Keep
we're
costs down.
yeah, we're Michael and I are obviously very partial towards the US and Canada, here in North America. But you're based in the UK and do business globally. We have, I think, what are we up? We have listeners in 75,
96 countries.
96
Oh wow,
countries.
okay, nice, yeah.
Right. So we're global, baby. Also, but yeah, I mean, like, so these solutions are available many geographies, regions.
Yeah, totally. So Zetadocs, both capturing expenses available in several different languages. I think about 7 or 8. But yeah, we've got customers all over the world. All the way to Australia and Asia. Obviously North America as well, South America, all over Europe. So yeah, the spread is really far and wide. And yeah, it's been a good uptake. And yeah, like I said, obviously having those other supported languages also, opens it up to a broader audience as well.
Yep.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I have too much more.
Yeah, no.
Do you need to share if they're drinking any sort of beer? What are you drinking?
So I've gone for a nice Stella Artois. I heard in the US it's got a bit of a better reputation than in the UK. Unfortunately, I didn't have time to go out and grab something nicer, but yeah, a beer is better than no beer, I say.
That's right.
Are you drinking
I'm
it out of
drinking
the? Sorry.
Sorry, I was just gonna say I'm drinking good old H2O, but I did just take a little sip of Fireball a few minutes ago because the nerves were getting to me.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a whole different game when the lights get turned on, right?
I know how that is. Yeah.
Oh, too funny.
Yeah. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, right?
Right.
Where Martin is, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm overdue actually a few beers, but at this time, so it's 8:30 for me, so I'm well overdue.
Yeah, it is really late.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we appreciate everybody joining. Thanks so much. If anybody has any questions, I guess you could reach out to us or go directly on Equisys website, reach out to them, and we'll help get all those questions answered. So thanks a lot, Summer, Martin. We truly appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you guys
Thank you
for
very
having
much,
us.
guys. It's been
All
great.
right. Thank you, guys.
Awesome. Have a good one.
All right, we are back for AI snack time, and there's a little bit of I would say, I don't know, a quote that has been going viral from Satya Nadella within the business software community, let's say. Satya said, "The era of SaaS as we know it is over. AI agents will replace traditional business applications, allowing for unparalleled automation and intelligence." Okay. So what he was saying is, just elaborate on this a little bit, is you've got your layers of software and AI and whatever, right? So you're going to have your business application layer saying Business Central.
Business Central, let's say.
Business Central. AI is going to be a layer over Business Central, and you will be going through AI to access Business Central. So we kind of talked about it before, the Windows or the new Microsoft Surface 11 computers, where you can actually tell it to do certain things and applications and it will do it. I think what he's alluding to here is that eventually your Business Central is going to be like, I don't know, automated to a point to where you just tell the AI chatbot or agent, whatever it is, what to do, and it's going to do it in Business Central.
Mm-hmm.
Do you agree?
Oh, shit.
Think so?
Listen, maybe Satya Nadella is talking about what might happen 10, 20, 30 years down the road, right? So, but what I'm telling you is this. So here's an analogy. What year did the iPhone come out? Was it
2007?
2007? That's what I was going to say. So 2007. Do you remember Steve Jobs coming out and having a press conference and saying to everyone in 2002, hey, everybody, I know you're using your flip phones right now or your Blackberries, but what's going to happen is down the road, you're going to have this one device and everyone's going to have one. You're going to get hail taxi cabs with it, Uber. You're going to check into your airplane with your boarding pass using this. It's going to have weather. It's going to map you to everywhere you're going.
GPS, yep.
It's going to be the way you pay for things. It's going to be the way you communicate with others and share data and photos and whatever with everyone. Do you remember him 5 years before the iPhone came out saying that?
No, I do not.
No, what he did was he waited until about 2006, 2007, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And he walked out on a stage with a fully functional iPhone in his hand and demonstrated it working fully, accurately, and with 100% ease of use.
Yeah. But, so is AI the phone? Since AI is already out there? And it's just going to take...
Yes, Michael, I'm using an analogy here to say that Satya Nadella coming out today saying that SaaS, ERP applications are dead and AI agents are the future is akin to Steve Jobs coming out in 2002 explaining to everyone how flip phones are going away and the Blackberries or whatever device was popular in 2002 is going to be dead without showing or demonstrating to anyone even a functioning model. It's premature. And what you're seeing is the hype machine driving AI. There's companies out. I saw a commercial. I forget the name of the business, and maybe I shouldn't say it anyway. I don't want to if I knew it. But it's like their website is such and such.ai.
Oh, yeah,
and the company has nothing to do with AI. Right. It's like bullshit. Yeah. Everyone is grasping onto AI as hard as they can grasp onto it to try to drive attention towards their products.
So recently, just saw this interview with Satya Nadella. He's partnered with other major tech players, whatever, and they have agreed to commit $500 billion. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Like AI, data warehouses, whatever you want to call them, right? And Microsoft specifically is putting in $80 billion. That's a pretty big investment for something that's not going to be.
Oh, yeah, look, and I don't know, you're right. This guy and Microsoft as an organization has hitched their wagon to AI.
Yeah.
So for the CEO of Microsoft to make a proclamation that AI is the future, of course he is, right?
I guess.
His wagon is hitched to it. They are all in. If you ever played Texas Hold'em, you push all your chips into the center of the table. That's Microsoft. They have placed the largest wager on AI ever. And I'm not saying it's not going to be true. Mm-hmm. It could be true. There's very bright, intelligent people with a lot more information at their fingertips than you or I have. We don't know shit, right?
Oh, yeah, no.
Honestly, between
we don't even get to play with real AI.
Yeah, what they know, right? Yeah. So that they know way more than we do, of course. But I'm saying today, as an end user of Business Central, what I have, what I see as evidence for Microsoft delivering AI solutions, C minus. It's there. How many people are using it? Maybe we should do a survey and say, hey, here's 8 Copilot features inside Business Central. Which of these 8 features are you, as your organization, actively using and reliant on today? I think the numbers would be pretty low.
I think if you were to change that from just Copilot to how many of you have used or regular something AI.
Sure. I did an internet search and I looked up something and I asked AI to paraphrase this paragraph for me or improve this sentence. Of course I've used it.
Yeah.
But I'm not eliminating my my SaaS ERP solution user interface anytime soon.
No, not yet, right? But if you think about it, though, in reality, like, you speak to AI in natural language, and I could show you, you can actually have a conversation with AI.
Oh,
and it sounds
okay.
like that, and you tell it things, and it'll talk back. So it's at that point already. So if they could develop a computer to where I can just say, tell it what to do instead of actually keying it in, or I don't know, why couldn't they build an interface to where I say, hey, open up a purchase order. I want to find purchase orders from, but I mean, they're close to it in Business Central, whatever. I mean, they're getting there. I mean, why couldn't it be, we just talk to it and say, we need to run year-end report. We need to do a year-end report or month end. Let's do it.
What's month end? Let's go. Let's use your analogy and say, let's do month end. What does that mean? What's it going to do?
Well, I don't know, whatever it consists of month end. If you could build an agent to say, hey, I want to do month end, and then it follows a specific set of rules.
Well, you got to reconcile your bank statement. You got to reconcile all your inventory accounts, your accounts payable, accounts receivable. You have to do month-end accrual entries, which takes estimated future revenue and books entries into the current month. You have to set up maybe a new accounting period. You have to close the inventory period. You might have negative inventory, so you need to do an inventory adjustment to get your inventory positive. So you're going to let AI do all of that?
Why not? Especially if you can teach it as it moves forward.
Because using what I have seen today's AI technology, you'd get a bunch of shit.
Right. It's not there yet, right? But I
correct. That's my point. Don't tell me this is going away. It's like almost, I don't know if you really, it's almost, people can become nervous or fearful when you say, hey, everything you know about software and user interfaces, it's dead. Yeah. It's not dead. Maybe sometime in the future it might die. There's a potential. It's going to be reimagined in the future. Die in the future. But don't tell me it's dead. People are just now starting to embrace software as a service for running their ERP systems. Up until 2020, many organizations, maybe the vast majority of organizations, if you asked them, would have said, hey, will you trust running your ERP solution on the cloud? And most people would tell you, no way. Yeah. I need it to be an on-premise solution because I need control over it. I need connectivity, access to it if my internet goes down, right? And now here we are. Companies are now adopting SaaS. Yeah. And as Microsoft is trying to get people to move to SaaS actively by the Bridge to the Cloud promo, where you're on the enhancement plan, you can get a discount if you transition to SaaS, Business Central Online. At the same exact moment as you're trying to get people to move to SaaS, you're telling them SaaS is dead. Sorry, it's too early. It's too early. Prove it. Show me some agents working and getting the job done accurately and efficiently. And then let's start a conversation about how SaaS as you know it is dead.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. It's too
So
early.
I think maybe people, when they say SaaS as we know it is dead, I don't think he's meaning it's going away. I think the way we use it, access it, that the way we do it now, that's what is going to be dead about it, right? I mean, it's going to be there. I mean, maybe you don't pay for Business Central subscription in the future. Maybe you just pay for an AI agent subscription, and everything goes through that, and they access all the software. I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm not.
But when you say SaaS ERP,
He says the era of SaaS as we know it is over. AI agents will replace traditional business applications, allowing for unparalleled automation and intelligence. He also said,
but that he's saying replace. He's saying replace,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
What I'm saying is we went from in my lifetime here, in my work, I should say my working career, mainframe type systems running on Unix servers, right, with SQL databases, to client server technology, where the client took over a lot more heavy lifting and you had a multi-tier architecture, to SaaS. All of these are ERP systems. Would you say the same thing when from Unix to client server, the era of ERP is over, that the way that we know it is over? If you, right, is client server to on-premise or to cloud, is that I mean,
the era of access.
Obviously, those are huge technological transitions, and at every step of the way, you've seen huge efficiency improvements. Things that you're doing now in today's modern ERP solutions like Business Central, never could have done it 10, 20 years ago. Unix system, like, the ease of use with integrating emails and Excel files, spreadsheets, or generating reports through Power BI, where you can dynamically shift filters and look at different visualizations of your data, didn't exist. But to say that it's going to change, of course, it's gonna morph right into something else.
Well, I mean, if you think, let's just think outside the box, right? So let's say he says AI agents can replace traditional business applications. So what if you, and like I said, thinking outside the box, what if you just gave every piece of information that you had to do, instead of putting it in Business Central, you give it to the AI agent?
I would say you're going to go out of business.
You think so?
Today.
Just because you don't trust it, though.
Correct. It's because the
Right.
quality of the results are not there.
Right. But if it were highly accurate, maybe this is what he means. Let's just say it has 99.99% accuracy.
I haven't seen that yet.
Right. But in theory, you could just feed information into the AI agent, right? And then ask the AI agent for whatever you want. Like you could say, run a month end or whatever, run month end for me, and it would do it, right? Maybe that's just what he's alluding to.
Maybe, but his terminology and his phrasing is
So he also said
not
that.
great.
He also said AI agents are not just tools, they are collaborators that can take on tasks, make decisions, and learn over time. This changes everything about how businesses work. Maybe.
I'm not sure what his goal is there. What's his goal by saying that?
His goal?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess his goal is not to be shocked when we have an agent that comes out and interacts with everything. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, takes everybody's job.
I mean, I that's what I'm wondering. I'm not sure. Obviously, he's going to champion AI, right? Like we talked about, they are hot committed to AI as the future, and everyone wants their share of the pie, right? The pie is being resplit up, and companies are looking to grab their share of that pie in the future, right? Knowing this will have a significant impact on things, but I just don't understand what the goal is there. That's great. Agents are coming and they're going to have a significant impact on your day-to-day life. It's going to be another tool that's available to me, right? Like from an accounting, like imagine, like take the accounting profession, right? Years and years and years ago, you had accountants who had ledger books that were written in pencils, right? And they used abacuses, right? I mean, go way back when, right? And then pocket calculators came out, and then spreadsheets came out. Well, there's still accountants. You still need people to do accounting to make decisions that are and decide, right? Because there's always multiple options. So if you just say, hey, AI, go handle this, AI is going to go handle it one way or the other.
Yeah.
But you or your organization may not agree with that way, right? Maybe we should have done it differently.
Yeah.
So you're just saying, like, if you're just going to, clap your hands together and say, AI, you take care of this for me. I'm just saying.
No, I mean, I think that's the end game, right? That's what they want eventually. You know what I mean? But I think realistically, Copilot is really an AI agent, right? It's not really AI. That's built on Microsoft Azure AI, and it's an agent that allows you to only do certain things that's been programmed to follow certain actions or whatever. So we don't know the full extent, at least I don't, and you might, the full extent as to what AI can really do. You know what I mean? But if you hear some of these people talk about it, Sam at OpenAI and Elon Musk, like, it has a lot of power. So in my head, do I see it being so far-fetched where you open up an AI agent and say, I don't know, create the next sales order for me, or post whatever you got to post, or I don't know, look up whatever.
But
the
idea I think of an AI agent is that it's just doing it. You're not telling it what to do. Maybe you're telling it what to do.
You got to
tell it what? Calculate my paid time off accrual and post that entry for me?
Yeah.
Using what data? How does it know? Does it have access to my payroll system?
Oh, well, you give it access.
And the ERP system?
Yeah, whatever you want to give it access to, yeah.
And it's just figuring out.
Listen, I'll give you an example, right? I've created an AI agent, let's just say for blog posting, okay? If I want, I can put a link into the agent, and it goes through a series of questions to ask me. It'll say, what keywords, what meta description, what URL, all these different types of things that go into a blog post. I'll enter the information.
Oh, you enter the information.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I could.
So there's still a user interface, and there's still an application.
That's my choice, though, because I could rely on it 100% and say, hey, use only these keywords.
Why don't you? Why don't you?
Because I don't trust you at 100%.
Okay, there we go.
No,
we're not there yet,
but we're close.
Are we?
Oh,
soon. When's this going to happen? Soon.
Well,
that's a pretty vague
we were talking about AI agents. To me, AI agents are game changers.
Sure. Okay. Maybe they are.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any in action. We're talking Business Central right here.
Yeah.
So I'm sure, like, from an Azure security management, monitoring, I'm 100% sold that there's already tons of good uses of this. I'm talking from an ERP, Business Central type environment where I have people entering purchase orders, creating sales orders, shipping things, doing physical inventory counts and writing off inventory, posting cash receipts and applying those payments according to the customer's request, issuing credits when needed, posting journal entries, closing the month end.
I'll tell you this. It's closer than you think.
That's what everyone's saying, but we're almost 2 years since we started talking.
It's more advanced in the gaming sector, to where I've seen it with the new computers where they just talk to the computer, whatever, and it does what they want in the game and in other applications.
Yeah. We're not talking about other applications though.
No, not yet. But I'm saying though, the technology is there. So they're going to introduce it in the VC or whatever it is sooner than we think. So like, you probably think, what, 5 years? I would say whatever your estimate is, cut it in half.
I'm not saying that AI agents aren't going to become a part of Business Central very soon in very specific, limited
I mean,
applications.
Where it's
But-
100% like,
But these are new features. I look at it like last major release, we had 40 or 50 new features
Yeah.
that came out. One of those might be an AI agent that does a specific task in Business Central.
yeah.
It monitors the job queues and it sends emails to people that need to know when there's an issue with a job queue completing successfully.
Yeah.
That would be an example of an AI agent. Does that end SaaS ERP as we know it? No,
I think that's
not even close.
That's just the first step. That's just a cool way to send you a notification.
Hype.
But yeah, but I think within the next couple of years, you're going to be able to tell business Copilot or whoever it may be to do things. Open Business Central, create sales order, whatever. You're just gonna be able to talk to it and do it.
Sure, I'm surprised that's not something that you can do just today. Already.
Fast, man.
But that still doesn't mean that SaaS ERP as we know it is dead or over, or it's going to be completely reimagined. It's going to be enhanced and improved to make users' lives
I
easier.
think that's what he means.
Just
I think
like-
it's just the wrong choice of word. I think that's what he means. I think he thinks that as you know it right now, to where you're entering everything by yourself. That as you know it is going to be changed. The application will still be there, but it's just going to be improved 10 times more with AI. Right? It's going to be less manual data entry, less manual report running, stuff like that.
Sure, that's fine, but I mean, many companies already are using website integrations or the use of EDI to automate all of this stuff already. So there is minimal manual entry being done in Business Central, right? With
you still have to access
ACH, electronic banking integration, that's all automated. I'm not printing checks anymore. I'm
But I
using,
feel like this process, once it's figured out, it's like AI replacing OCR. It's a lot easier to use AI instead of OCR and a lot more accurate. I think the same thing will be true with EDI.
possibly, but what I would tell you is that me using AI now to translate an incoming vendor invoice versus using OCR to do it, it's just a different tool. It's still the same process, and it's still the same result, and it's still the same data that I get out of it. It's just a different technological tool that I'm using that's more efficient than the last version or edition, right?
For sure.
That's all. It's not ERP. SaaS is not dead by a long shot.
No, not dead, not yet. I don't think it's ever going to die, right?
I think that's what he said.
No, I
think
always have to
that's
have
what he
ERP
said.
or whatever. Just as the application, as you know, it might change, right?
You could say that every day, though.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
SaaS software is continuously evolving.
Right. This is the equivalent here. This is the equivalent of him saying back in 2016, or not 2016, when did BC come about? Was it
2019.
2019?
BC online.
Yeah, online.
Yeah.
It'd be like him saying, Nav, as you know it, is effectively dead. And he's kind of right?
No,
It is, but it isn't.
no, it's not. It's just deployed on a software as a service multi-tenant platform. It's
Yeah,
actually the
different
exact same
interface.
software that 23 years ago I started using.
Yeah, the process and stuff. Yeah, but I mean,
As a matter of fact, it's in many ways, it's sadly the
Don't say it.
same
Don't say it.
software, right? That I used 23 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm sure money users can sympathize with that.
But I think that's what he's saying, right? So 5 years from now, AI is going to just enhance Business Central. You know what I mean, or whatever.
Well,
but
then
it'll
just
be
say
different.
that. That doesn't draw enough clicks and enough fired up people like myself, I guess, right? If you were just
I
to
agree.
say that. We're going to continuously improve Business Central by adding AI features that are going to automate tasks for you
Or
to make you more efficient.
they know more than we do.
Or they do. Yeah.
Maybe they have some sort of autonomous ERP running where you're just talking to some agent, telling it everything, asking it questions, and it's giving you all the answers. I don't know.
You know, I don't know either. I think
I wonder what would happen if you dumped like all the data from Business Central into an agent, what it would be able to decipher and everything.
I don't know. I just, without, going into details, I get in, the AI agents, I think it's going to be a lot more time and effort and training, as they say, than some people may think.
Should we ask the agent what he means?
Nah.
No. Okay.
Now let's wrap it up.
All right.
Feel like
That's it.
we've
Time.
killed this topic.
All right. Time to rate some beers then. All right. Today we're drinking the Oatmeal Stout, Samuel Smith's Old Brewery, Tadcaster. Good beer, good notes, good flavor, good taste. In my opinion, head and shoulders above Guinness. I know you're talking about Guinness when you think stouts. We've had a couple other stouts or whatever. This might be the best one that we've had, in my opinion. So, good notes, good flavor. I'm gonna go. It's still a stout. I'm gonna go. I feel like I'm right around this range a lot lately. 74.
74.
Yeah.
All right. I'm right. Yeah, I'm gonna go. Just kind of looking here. I'm gonna go 65.
Ooh, a little lower.
Which is pretty well. That's right around where I'm seeing all my stouts here.
Did you take this over a Guinness?
No.
No.
Interesting. No. It is, I think, my highest rated stout. That's what I'm debating on. I had a 64 Kentucky Vanilla Barrel Cream Ale.
Yeah.
That we had.
I remember. That was
And
a strong beer.
Trying to remember. Yeah, I'm putting this right. That was a 64, so I'm going to go 65 for this one.
This beer would pair well with your morning oatmeal. Just kidding. Actually, I think it'd be a really good beer to pair with foods. Just because it has some notes.
Yeah, got
sweeter notes.
Good flavor.
Yeah.
You know what would be good right now? Some of those little like ham with cream cheese and a pickle in the middle.
Oh yeah, the little finger foods.
Those little, I could go for some of those right now.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in to episode 69. We appreciate it. Like Ken said, next month we're hoping to be able to talk about the Business Central 2025 Release Wave 1 notes. We'll see if it happens. So, Ken, take us home.
It's been a blast. Bye-bye.
As we end today's podcast, we want to give a big thank you to everyone who listens, shares this podcast, and leaves us reviews. You've taken a good amount of your time out of your day, and we truly appreciate it. Thanks again, and don't be afraid to email us at marketing@solsyst.com with your tips for the podcast, or maybe you'd even like to be a guest during an episode.